What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Wednesday, December 28th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Appreciate you all very much. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy hump day. Let's take a look at the astrology for this hump day. We're going to see a sun at 7 degrees of Capricorn. That's a very spiritual number, and with so much going on with the moon and Neptune and Juno in Pisces together, with great sextiles over to Venus, Mercury station. It's going to go retrograde tomorrow on the 29th, and even Pluto. There's really good energy here for the imagination, looking at the spiritual side of life, the connectedness, but realizing that Capricorn is going to keep us a little bit grounded. We can kind of want to float away a little bit today and kind of, I don't want to necessarily use the word escape, but, the abstract, go into the imagination, the creation elements there. But it is having a grounding effect with this Capricorn season and the Capricorn energy that is, I think showing us today that we have to have a vision, we have to have an imagination, or nothing ever gets built and created. So I do think that there is something about today that's extremely, extremely creative, and there's definitely something from a higher place trying to come through and say, yeah, you're feeling certain ways for a reason because it's not part of a dream. And I think we have to look at dreams, whether consciously dreaming or subconsciously dreaming, because they're trying to, show us something important with this Capricorn energy about how to take the next step in our lives. So I think that today is a very interesting day with Venus and Mercury getting ready for their conjunction, the Mercury station in Capricorn, really having us look at our values and, kind of create our own rules with Capricorn here about how to reach the top. And without the vision and without the dream, we'll never get to the top of anything in life. So I think this is definitely a day where we can almost feel as if we want something, but it's not obtainable. But I think we have to really shift our beliefs. And even with Jupiter and Aries, we have to shift our belief into a more empowering place, into a place where we can identify with there's so many different outcomes, so many ways things can go, and be open to that without so much expectation. I do think that this is a day where we really want to drop the expectation of how the day is going to go, get into the creative side, the intuitive side, the imaginative side, because that's going to be the most potent energy with the moon and Neptune conjunct. And then Mercury is about to turn offline, so we're already kind of starting to feel this Mercury retrograde. Mars is retrograde in Gemini. We do not want to, go down a slippery slope here in our minds. I'll be honest with you. The mind is not our friend right now. It will be again someday, but right now it's much more about this sort of just knowing and belief and vision about what's to come. I think that, honestly, if there was a day this week, because we're coming up on a new calendar year and, New Year's resolutions, I feel like today's the day to envision these resolutions, but also to know that you have to take steps forward for that energy. And, maybe it's time to start those now instead of waiting until, January 1st or whatever. Like, what do you really want to come true, and how can you put the effort in to get there? And, slow and steady wins the race too. So I don't think it's about necessarily just the leap of faith jump that might be wanting to be had, but the deep breaths, the surrenders that you feel what you feel, and those feelings are real. Nobody can tell you that your feelings aren't real, right? Or they're just gaslighting you. So same for yourself. Don't gaslight yourself and say that your feelings aren't real because you don't understand them mentally, or you don't see them having a place in the future because of a mental understanding. This is like the emotional attunement to know what is going to be around long term, the relationship energy that's beautiful, the commitment energy, the really physical stuff too, whether it comes to jobs, whether it comes to our relationships with the governments, with society. So much of that, what is true to you and what feels right, what feels in alignment with your soul, and what feels consciously aligned at the same time is very important. So I do like what we're seeing today. I would just say that, especially with Saturn now at 22 degrees, we're definitely seeing more opportunities kind of show up in weird ways, and the experiments are important in our life right now. And Jupiter is semi-square Uranus in Taurus. So it's interesting, we definitely want to experiment with different outcomes, but they have to be aligned with your own identity and your own personal belief, and not so much the societal way that things work, especially with the Capricorn energy. And we touched on those south nodes of the planets yesterday that are up there that Mercury's going to retrograde back over, and Venus just finished up with. So very intuitive day, very sensitive day, but the sensitivities are so important because they really are showing you what is the peak of where things can go. And I think that we also have to have the great imagination to see through the valleys, and to see that the valleys do lead to the peaks, and that it is one step in front of another. But you got to have faith in yourself, and you got to have faith in that you can reach a level that you want to be at. Capricorn's levels, tiers, hierarchy in a lot of ways. But this is more, I think, conscious for what your hierarchy is, and what are the rules that you want to define in today's kind of an unbound space, where the imagination and the feelings and the intuition will actually show you a lot of that. But we do have to be present. I do think that there's enough grounding energy to keep us both in the world, to use the imagination constructively, in how we're going to create certain aspects today. So today, I'll be honest, there's not a whole lot of harsh energy except for the Ceci quadrant from Venus and Mercury over to Mars retrograde, and the Sun building up on the quincunx over to Mars retrograde. Of course, we've been seeing the semi-square plenty between Jupiter and Uranus, but this is definitely, one of those days where it really is going to be like, can you tune out of the noise and kind of get back to your soul? And if you're able to kind of get into that space, you'll be able to get back into the noise with a more conscious, if you will, understanding of certain aspects that really do need to be, put your energy forth there, or, commit or do. But sometimes, we do need to find some solitude to get to that place. But other than that, I'm feeling like today's definitely there could definitely show us some magic. Could definitely show us some something special from a higher place. And even if it doesn't look like it, it's the feeling that's showing you how to get to what would give you the better feeling. So you don't want to escape the truth of that as well. Don't go down a slippery slope today, but very, very, very potent stuff. The more I look at the astrology, and, right before Mercury's going to retrograde, it's definitely get the things that are spiritually important done. The things that you do want to put your creative intent into, there is a need to get that happening instead of waiting, where we could just want to kind of wait. I think you'll know. You'll know through your emotions what needs to be done and what's most important, and I think you'll understand that. So definitely, I love the energy today. I'll be honest; it might be my favorite day of the week. But sometimes when we get really good energy like that, we can get really lazy too. So I don't think it's necessarily a day to be lazy, but it is a day to find enough solitude and enough rest to really feel life today, and to not numb out from life. I think that's a good way to put it. And we'll see what we got in the card. I think you guys like the Astro dice. It seemed like there were some good comments on that. I'll mix it in more and more. I think today I'll just pull the tarot. We got the King of Wands in reverse. Maybe, just maybe, we really do need to come into that sort of solitude within ourselves and quiet some things down without just fully disconnecting or escaping reality, but to really see where our passion and our heart lies, and to not shy away from the truth of that, and you know, act like we don't know, or we don't want to trust that feeling, because that feeling does know where to put your fire, and it'll kind of turn that card around and give you a lot of will to be in charge of the creation of your life. And the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. I would say this is just saying, you know, take it slow. This is kind of a day to take it slow, and through the process, you're going to get that step forward that you're looking for, and you're going to get things rolling. I would say it's definitely not a day to rush things. It's not a day to force things. The beauty of today comes through the chill out that does give you the motivation, because it's almost like you get an answer internally, and you don't have to like rush things and be like, this is going to be manifested now. Abracadabra. But today does have a little bit of abracadabra, but again, it's probably not with both of these cards, it's not just in the forcing of, I will make it happen. It like God will make everything happen when it's meant to happen. So don't, you know, we don't have to try so hard today is another good message that just came through. And the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, I think we are kind of in a sense of like weighing out different worlds right now, different energies, and making choices. And yeah, I would say that the emotion comes through, and the choices that you make based on how you're feeling do manifest well in the long term or even the short term physically in a way that can be very potent. But there's a little bit of today of, you know, could feel like a lot of waves of emotion, a lot of feeling, a lot of, you know, anything. But I would say like don't escape that, and it will actually bring you to the shore of life that you're looking for. And you know, I think that it brings up choice when you get the twos, so you know, it brings up that level of polarity in life and duality, and we get to choose. And I think today's a great opportunity to remember that your choices do carry weight, and you do have free will, and it's important to use it from a very soul perspective in your life of what would be better, and using your consciousness that has grown so much up until this point and is always growing to really get to that point without just you know, trying to force choices. I feel like it's not like the forcing of choices, it's definitely the feeling that leads to the best choice. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope you have a lovely Wednesday, and I will see you all mañana. Much love. Peace. Oh, missed it. Okay, bye for real.